Welcome to your reading. I got some downloads and we're going to pull some cards, but what's coming to mind lately is mastery through love. And we do have Valentine's Day coming up, and this is more of a love that transcends time and space. And I'm just hearing there's such a huge letting go of the old right now within our mind, within the beliefs and also within our nervous systems. Like, we are changing, we are evolving, we are letting go of the past, and it's happening in your mind and therefore in your vision, in your sight, in the world around you. So it's really, don't get scared when the message says let go, because it's letting go of suffering and pain, and it's coming into loving where you are, loving what you're doing. It's mastering your situation through love and seeing everything just turn into, yeah, the vision of love, of Christ's light, of, yeah, just a dream come true in the heart. So we're opening up to the heart of love right now. And so, of course, we're going to start with a page of cups, because cups represent the heart, emotions. This is childlike wonder. This is innocence. This is just pure divine love. It's coming to a state of mind where all we want to do is give. We want to give our love away, like the song, I give love away, I give love, it'll be okay. Everything's going to be okay when our focus is just to give the love away without any expectations of receiving anything back, just giving the love and moving forward, not even looking back or wondering where the gift is going to be, if it's going to be accepted or not, or if it's going to, we're miracle workers. We're not asked to find out if the gifts are accepted. We're just asked to give all of our heart. And this page is a child. It's a child offering their heart. So if you felt like what you gave as a child, if you feel like as a child you had all this love and it got smushed and the light was smushed down, what the universe is trying to say is you can have that love now. You've been through all these experiences, and yeah, it's been heartbreak and devastation and trying to get and just life experience. It's a beautiful thing. But now you have the capacity to love without expectation, to love without, yeah, we're still learning how to love without holding back. We're still learning how to be vulnerable and to be open and to, yeah, just open our heart after all that we have learned and all that we have been through. Can we come back to that, the love we had in our heart before we learned anything? And this chariot is saying that you are very, very fast forward moving into this heart opening love, this heart opening song, this heart opening, the way you want to speak, the way you want to move, the way you want to give. It's all, I mean, it's funny because all the cards are showing love, and I got the download for days now that it's mastery through love. So the next card is the Knight of Cups, which is traditionally the knight in shining armor. So whatever your views on what love was supposed to be, whether it was marriage and children or a huge family or whatever it is, all those concepts and ideals and beliefs and whatever you've been through, if your heart's been broken, the spirit is offering you a different vision of love, a new meaning. It's like you've been letting the spirit give you the meaning of love, and you're discovering, it's funny, you're discovering that it's inside of you, because we've all tried everything on the outside. The next two cards are the Ten of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, just look at these cards. Well, the Ten of Pentacles means like legacy, generational love. It's the whole thing. It's the whole concept of, say, generational wealth, being able to have enough to pass down a legacy. But it also talks about grandparents and family and children and pets. It's forgiveness of these concepts that we thought we had to have reciprocity and play all these roles, the perfect mother, father, sister, brother, husband, wife, you know, even not being able to leave our pets. We all have certain assignments. I know that my dog of 11 years, I had to leave with my ex's son because, that dog wasn't just for me. That little boy needed him, and I knew that, and everybody was happy in the end. That dog was not just for me. It had many assignments, and that's how it is, in the spiritual realm. We come here to expand and grow, not hold on to one person or one crumb or one thing or one job. Like a lot of us were told what would make our parents happy and we played that out. A lot of us have just been seekers our whole life, but whatever's happening, you are discovering what your 10 of Pentacles is, what fills up your heart with love. That's a discovery. And the Wheel of Fortune, let's see if that's the Wheel of Fortune. It says, like, the world is your oyster. You're now going to co-create your dream life with the universe. This card is a wish come true. It's all your cups being filled. So we have a lot of this love on the table, and underneath you have the Fool, which is a leap of faith, a new beginning, careless, carefree, and cared for. So there are a lot of cards that talk about emotion, and many of you have prayed for emotional stability, the ability to be in this world and not of it, the ability to have spiritual maturity and be passersby. We want to love our family members, our friends, our pets, and we want to love without attachment. We want to love without reciprocity. We don't want the responsibility of what the roles assume that we have to be. We want to just give from our heart and then have the flexibility to move on when we feel it without guilt. And we are learning how to do that with love without having to demand that we be treated a certain way or that someone responds to us in a way that feels most helpful for us. We don't need that anymore. We just say, I hear you, I love you, and this is what I'm guided to do. This is a real practice to be able to respond to everything and everyone that way in our life. But the cards do say that you are going to succeed. The Six of Wands says that you're coming into that energy now. You have really faced the ego head on when you have tried to put these boundaries up and change. The shift in mind does require that we kind of are able to change the dynamics of our relationships with everyone. And that takes a lot of courage to do, to say, I don't want to play this role anymore. I don't want to be responsible for your happiness anymore. I feel called to do this and I have to follow that calling. And I feel like and actually just through my experience, when I tell like family members or exes or, friends that, I'm just, if I come to them with, this is what I'm doing. And, I love you so much, but I'm doing this, they may, express, oh, that kind of freaks me out. But I don't get any flack at all unless I go up to them with this guilt in my mind and say, yeah, I know this is going to hurt you, but I feel like I need to do this. And I hope you can understand. I really love you, but this is just what I have to do. It's almost like we set up those situations to get the reflections of, well, how dare you leave me? But if we come with our confidence and certainty, we're most likely, and this does take practice, but we're most likely going to get the response of, wow, I admire you and I support you. And I wish I had the courage to do that in my life. So we want to be demonstrations to our children, to our sisters and brothers, to our exes that, it's okay to say no. It's okay to move on when you no longer feel something is helpful. It's not only okay, but it's the path. And when we take our path, we give other people permission to authentically and honestly take theirs. We are to teach us to demonstrate. It's not to read a bunch of words back from a book that we read. We got to go through the darkness to get to the light to share. So yeah, I have a few clarifiers here. The first two cards were the King and Queen of Pentacles. So there does seem to be support, relationships. Even many of you have marriages or will have partners that are supporting your decision to go for the truth in your life, to go for your highest good. I've recently done that with my own life and going for God. And yeah, sometimes I get reflections and texts and phone calls that say, "Are you crazy?" Or, come back to the United States. You have all these songs you've written. You're supposed to be playing them for billions. Or, I'll get a text, yeah, judgments of what my decisions are, and I just lovingly say, yeah, but I got to do this. I got to try this, and maybe I will fail. But how will I know if I don't try? Or I'll say, thank you for sharing your thoughts with me, but God's in charge of my life, and I'll be guided and I'll be shown. I mean, this is the certainty that we are being really called, all of us, to come into. All of us are being called to first find an inner altar and stability within ourselves. And then when we do that, collaborations and exciting projects show up for us to be with mighty companions and others. But we want to always remember that the kingdom of heaven is within. That stability lies, and the truth and our source lives within us. And we want to find and develop an altar of peace where we can go to always, always, in any moment. And yeah, lately I've just been really inspired by coming into this. So we did get one dark card, and the funny thing about this card, this Eight of Swords, is that it looks really dark because she seems to be bound, blindfolded, and these screaming ravens are in her ear. But the fact is, she's looking in a mirror and seeing herself as bound. But in reality, she's completely calm, peaceful. She's not tied or bound at all. She's actually free. She looks like she's safe in her bed or in a papasan chair, is what I'm seeing. But that's what the ego will tell us. You're trapped in a place that, because you don't want to be there. You don't know where you're going. You're confused. And the screaming ravens are just those thoughts in the mind saying, things are not the way they're supposed to be. And that cannot be. That could never be. We are always right where we're supposed to be. And it's only our thoughts about it and our judgments about it that keep us in chains. And yeah, it's the age-old story. The grass is greener. We want something, we get there, and we want to go back. I mean, we will make mistakes. We're listening to the spirit. We're being guided. If we get where we're supposed to be and we don't feel it, we have the authority to change direction. But we also know that the ultimate authority, that we really have no control at all, that getting us there in the first place was God's doing. And if we just stand still and allow ourselves to accept that place, then we will be moved when it's time. And just a reminder to never, ever make a decision in fear. Never make a decision in fear. Don't make a big move in your life out of fear, because it will crumble like the tower. Any decision made that's not on a solid foundation of love and present moment guidance is going to crumble, and it'll have to be rebuilt from love. So we really want to be careful about, we want to make, I'm moving. This is how it should feel. I'm moving. I'm going into a new adventure, not I'm running away. And I really don't want to ever leave another place until I leave in love. I want to be moved by the spirit in gentle love. And it is a dance, and you have that card of the balancing, making decisions and movement, grounded in presence, bringing in the Holy Spirit into your mind, inviting the Spirit in your mind, lifting up the darkness, and then making decisions when you're in a state of grace. and grace comes from prayer. So we are literally, I mean, I can see by the cards that the ones here are praying, all the time. And that's really all it takes. Somebody shared something with me recently, and it was beautiful. It's like we no longer have to act from what we were hearing our parents, our exes, or whatever trauma we had in the past, saying, you can't do this, you're not good enough. I mean, clearly we know that that voice is not the one to listen to now. Not to say that it doesn't come up and that it does affect us sometimes. But now, the voice you listen to now, your parent is this moment, the present moment. How many books have you heard? Eckhart Tolle, David Hoffmeister, the Bible, judge not, be here and now. The present moment is all there is. There is no time. Don't judge what's happening. Just get very still and present. Be still and know that I am God. Know thyself. In that presence, in that moment, are all your answers. And in fact, is the only answer. And the only time we're in fear is when we're going into future thoughts about what's going to happen. But if we got present now, we could find that state of mind, that peace of mind, that calmness. And we just stay there until we feel that. And from there, all decisions can be made. And they can be made with the universe, with the Holy Spirit, with God. And we can trust that. And we want to learn to trust that we can always go to this moment in stillness and receive the answer. So those are the messages that I have for you, and I'll see you next time.
Show me what I believe, so I can be set free and learn how to forgive.